Today we're going to be going over some fragrances that you might not have considered purchasing, at least until now. Maybe these weren't really on your radar, you know, maybe you've heard about them, seen them here and there online or something, but you never really thought that maybe they would be worth the purchase or at least worth trying. Well, in my opinion, they are. We're going to go through each one, kind of give you my reasoning why I think that. I'm also going to drop links to everything down below as well if you want to do some shopping. We're going to get things kicked off with a designer that's doing something different, something that we all dream of. Lalique Ombre Noir. This one has cognac, tobacco, cinnamon, a little bit of a green cypress type of woodiness as well. Very unique blend here of warm spices, aromatic freshness, some woody notes as well. Kind of a boozy kick as well, of course, from that cognac type of smell. Something truly different here. And again, that's something that we don't get very often. This is a designer brand that's going against the grain. It's sweet, but not in the new style way, not in the trendy type of way that we're seeing right now, because it's balanced out with a bunch of other notes that I just kind of discussed. Also has a more mature aspect to it, which is nice considering, again, a lot of things are going in the more sweet and juvenile direction. It's kind of the opposite with this. Has a little bit more of a premium smell to it. And honestly, it smells pretty expensive, even though it's really not. At least when we're talking discounter prices, it's usually going to be around $60 or so. It's an eau de parfum concentration. It has really, really good performance as well. So great longevity, decent projection to push out. Love the bottle, love the coloration. Everything about this stuff is great. Maybe it's not been on your radar because it's not a super hyped up scent, but if you want something different for fall and winter, I would check it out. We're gonna go over to a Tom Ford up next. A little bit more expensive here, although there are plenty of clones as well. It's not too hard. You don't have to do a ton of digging to find a really good clone of this one. It is Tom Ford's Bitter Peach. So even though it's a peach scent, nice, really cool looking orange bottle here, it's actually great for this time of year, believe it or not. You might be thinking spring and summer, and it could work, but it's pretty sweet as well. So this one has peach, rum, blood orange, and patchouli, so you kind of see where I'm going here. Another one with a bit of a boozy kick, nice, strong, masculine, woody patchouli, just taking it down a different path. So the peach, the blood orange, it's giving you some of that freshness, some of that fruitiness, and a bit of a sweetness, but plenty of balance going on here as well. Still predominantly sweet. So that's kind of why I'm saying that for this time of year, fall, kind of heading into winter, if you want something that gives you the impression of a little bit of a fresher scent, but it holds up really well when it's cool outside, this is perfect. Now let's say you only have $20 to spend. You could go for Bright Peach by Maison Alhambra. Cool thing about it is you even get a bottle that looks somewhat similar, and you get a 100 milliliter bottle too for $20-ish versus 50 ml for whatever it goes for. I didn't even look, probably $200 or something. So you do have options if you don't want to spend the money, but the idea is getting this scent DNA into your collection. It's something that stands out. It's something that's a bit different and unique. All right, this next one here is Polo Cologne Intense. This is like the 8-ounce bottle. It worked out to be a really good deal when I was purchasing it. This bottle wasn't a whole lot more than the normal bottle size. I don't even know if they go in what increments they go in, if it's either 100 ml or 120 or 125. I don't know. I just know that I think it probably cost me only like $20 more or something, and I kind of wanted to see what this bottle would look like in person. And I mean, you know, there's my hand. I mean, that's a lot of fragrance right there. This will last me like 5 lifetimes. This one has basil, mint, ambroxan, green smelling. It's Polo green, but modernized, essentially. You know, Polo green and blue, they've been around for a very long time, and especially Polo green could maybe smell a little bit more old school. I'm talking the original versions. The Cologne Intense, again, it simply takes that and modernizes it, throwing in some ambroxan, bringing in some aromatics, but more so of a style that we get from newer scents. A lot of newer scents these days are using the sage and the geranium and ambroxan, or basil and other notes, and ambroxan, right? Just kind of a new style aromatic. That's what this one is doing here, just breathing some new life into this pre-existing and kind of older fragrance lineup. That's what I like about this. Has a very versatile type of smell to it, meaning it could be an everyday signature scent that just works no matter the situation or the time of year. Performance is going to be a little bit of a downside for this one. It just isn't a beast mode scent by today's standards, so some people won't like that part as much. When you do wear this one, you might find yourself doing a few extra sprays, but still it gets the job done for most situations. Let's go for Bleu Noir Parfum by Narciso Rodriguez. The entire lineup is really solid. They discontinued a couple really good ones, just like the original Narciso Rodriguez for him, and then another one as well. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but the entire Bleu Noir lineup is still pretty easy to get, with the exception of the Extreme, but everything else you can grab. This Parfum is going to be my favorite one of this line. This one has iris, suede, musk, and some tonka bean. Nice kind of interesting take. They're basically taking a bit of a sweeter, powdery iris note and then throwing in some woods as well. So a little bit of a combination here. Instead of going with a fresh iris and a fresh fragrance DNA like Prada L'Homme, or instead of going with a sweet iris and a sweet fragrance DNA like Dior Homme Intense, again, they're doing it differently here. They're doing sweet iris, fresher, woodier background here, conducive of a Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir lineup. And so that's kind of what they're doing, which makes this one stand out among a lot of the other iris fragrances out there. Just a little bit of a hybrid situation here. That's what you get out of this one, and it smells great. Ultimately, it gives it a ton of versatility. This is something that you could wear pretty much year round. You know, summer, when it's really, really hot, it's not going to be my number one choice. But aside from that extreme, you know, just extreme heat, pretty much anything else, you could grab this one and go. And for the price that it goes for, which is usually going to be, I don't know, around $60 to $70, you can really get your money's worth out of it. This next one is Tonka Cola by Mancera. Really reasonable on discounters, anywhere from $70 to $80 for a 120 ml, not a little rinky-dink 60 ml. These make 0 cents to buy. I try to say this as much as I can because I have it because I bought this when it first came out and the 120s were already sold out, and I had to get my hands on it like now. That's why I ended up with this, but I'm telling you guys, please don't buy this size bottle because it's not much cheaper. You might be looking at $10 or $15 difference most of the time, and you're literally doubling the bottle size by, you know, spending an extra $15. So just, again, this doesn't make sense really for anybody, especially because something like this, again, is very, very usable, mostly in fall and winter time, but formal, casual, doesn't really matter. You could pull this one off. It's got cinnamon, Coca-Cola, tonka bean, really nice, powdery sweet, but also fizzy and bubbly at the same time. From that Coca-Cola smell, the cinnamon sweetness is there, giving it that spicy kick. Tonka bean, kind of powdery sweetness. It smells really, really fantastic, and actually one of my favorite Mancera scents. You know, for the price that this one goes for online, under $100, pretty much all the time, you cannot beat something like this. And, you know, kind of getting back on track with strong performance here, this is a very strong performer like most Manceras. This next one is Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. It's the Le Parfum version. This one has oak, saffron, and amber extreme. I really, really enjoy this. It has a tiny bit, a very small bit of this medicinal smell. Now, don't let that scare you off. It's not like a medicinal oud. You know, you've heard oud described in that way. Sometimes you've smelled that in some Manceras before that uses an oud note. Typically, a lot of their oud smells the same, of the more medicinal variety. It's not like that. Again, it's sweet with just a hint of this slight medicine smell. And then you're also getting the amber extreme, kind of a modernized slight freshness. You're getting the oak, nice, strong, woody accord here, which gives it more of a masculine feel. The saffron gives it a little bit of a slight spicy sweetness. That note is pretty common, both in perfumes and colognes, men and women's scents. It can be used either way, and then it can go either way depending on what it's surrounded by. In this instance, it gives it a little bit more of a masculine feel as well. Again, I've said this before, but these are not oceanic, they're not aquatic. It doesn't make sense as far as the name, but the scent itself all of that aside, is really good. This and the Eau de Parfum, two amazing fragrances from this lineup. I love the bottle as well. That could have been bad. Nice red to black gradient here. It's subtle, but it looks cool. This next one is Myslf Le Parfum by YSL. It has orange blossom, vanilla, amber, nice white floral with a sweetness and a blue fragrance twist. It's not blue though, it's just they're bringing in the ambroxan from that type of blue fragrance style, and that's kind of where that part ends. That would be what I would consider the blue fragrance twist, but it veers way away from your usual blue scent. Your Eau de Parfum, your Sauvage, your Bleu de Chanel, and so on. White floral leaning with vanilla. You know, it's something different here. The white floral part is not going to be for everybody. It's different. At first, I was a little bit on the fence about it. I'm not a big floral guy usually. It has to be done in a way that I like it to be done, I guess. I'm picky about it. But I have found a few that I really like. Reflection Man is one that I'm very, very open about loving. This is another one that over time, after smelling it more, I really started to enjoy it. It's just, you know, this is going to get hate because it's a YSL. It's marketed to be popular. But really, when you smell it, it does stand out in a bit of a different way. And I like that. It's a huge people pleaser. This Le Parfum is a strong performer as well, so no issues there, even though, you know, it is floral based here and fresh on that end of things. The vanilla and some of the other woods and stuff that are buried deeper in the base notes, it really helped this one to hold on for a lot longer than you would expect it to. Burberry Hero Parfum is up next. This one is great. I like this. I like the Eau de Parfum as well. This one has amyris, cedarwood, and cypriol oil, kind of giving it this slight green, earthy undertone. Amyris gives it this kind of sweet, powdery smell. And of course, cedarwood, that kind of is self-explanatory here. Very strong woody presence with a little bit of a powdery sweetness and then kind of this earthy green undertone. But again, emphasis on the woods. It's a woody scent. Instead of being dry and like a lot of cedarwood scents though, it's again a little bit more sweet. You know, truth be told, for a Burberry scent, this is fantastic stuff. They're not like a top tier designer brand for fragrances, at least as regarded by in the community. You know, you just don't really hear about Burberry all that often. Got to give credit where credit's due. This is a really, really solid release. And, you know, on discounters, these are still a little bit more expensive, but something like this to me is well worth it. We're going to finish things off with Diesel Bad Intense. Don't hate on the Diesel, I'm telling you. These, and especially this brand, they don't really get the best reputation. They're not held to a high standard in the fragrance community. And I will agree with most when I say that a lot of their fragrances aren't that good. I would say that Diesel Fuel for Life and Diesel Bad Intense are the two best Diesel fragrances that you can buy. I'm not a big fan of only the Brave series, I believe is what they are, the fist bottles. You know, those really aren't all that great to me, maybe with the exception of one. Other than that, nothing to write home about, but this one is really good. And again, Diesel Fuel for Life, kind of a basic choice, but that raspberry, man, I'm telling you, that stuff is good too. Raspberry and anise, some lavender, it's great. I love it. Not afraid to say that at all. This one has white tobacco, woods, nutmeg, cinnamon, warm, spicy, nice, not fresh tobacco, but it's a light tobacco. Instead of being rich red pipe tobacco, very smoky like a Mancera red tobacco, to pick an extreme version, it's going to be more of a tobacco leaf, just lighter, fresher. That cinnamon, that nutmeg is coming through. Nice aromatic lavender. It is just, it's hard to dislike how this smells. Is it the most unique thing that has ever been created? No, but as far as coming from the brand of Diesel, this is a solid fragrance. And the original Diesel Bad is really good too. If you're going to purchase one though, I would put your money into the Intense and probably call it good. You really don't need to own both. But this one here, again, it's easy to hate on. Give it a try, you might be impressed. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some fragrances that you might not have thought that you needed, but maybe this has changed your mind. If it did, links will be down below to do some shopping. Got some codes down there as well you can use depending on where you're shopping at. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.